This sode would not be possible without the support of our listeners, patrons, and sponsors. If you'd like to learn more about supporting the 3-Bit Gamer Show, check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/3BG. And a huge thanks goes out to our boss-level patrons, Christopher and Patrick.
Come, friends, we must set forth on our adventure.
Don't wanna.
Can't go out.
But adventure awaits.
Plague out there.
Everyone's dying.
Oh, that malaise. It's nothing but a mere cough.
I watched a guy vomit up his guts. Big old pile of guts.
Well, I suppose we could postpone our adventure a bit.
What was the adventure anyway?
We are out of toilet paper.
No!
You've just logged into the 3-Bit Gamer Show. Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
And this is Trent.
And we're out of toilet paper.
We are in a dire situation over here, folks. The toilet paper is gone.
Guys, I went to Target and looked, and it's all gone. Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news. All right, our news this week is brought to us by Crave Cookies. Trent, what is Crave Cookies' cookie of the week this week?
Crave Cookies' cookie of the week is the mint Oreo.
That's always good.
Oreo?
Chocolate
Have
mint.
you had that one before?
No.
What's in it?
So, I mean, it's the Mega Stuffed Cookies and Cream, but
Okay.
with mint Oreos. So next week's St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
So
Are you going to dye the dough green? You could do
I don't know, because I
Shamrock,
think
dude.
we could, but I think the actual green cream from the Oreo is going to make the dough
Bleed
a little
in
bit
there.
green.
I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a lot of food coloring in there.
And we might have other cookies on top of that. We're still debating, but that's the for sure one.
Okay.
So
Check out Crave Cookies. They're in Midvale, Utah, and you can find them online at
cravecookies.com.
cravecookies.com. All right. First news story is just...
With the glass ceiling broken, all the oppressed groups shall prosper, especially the most oppressed group of all, gamers.
Gamer Rage. Hot off the presses.
This is a good
Love
one.
to see it.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming, gamers.
Apparently, fans are destroying their PlayStation 4s because Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be available on the PC.
So this kind of came to a head with a video that went viral of some guy who had destroyed his office
his whole
area.
office workstation, and this is him
Like he's sad.
he's sniffling and crying.
So people are upset because Horizon Zero Dawn, which was a PlayStation exclusive, is now coming to PC and Xbox. And so they feel betrayed.
It was originally just a PlayStation exclusive, and
right. However, I do have to give a caveat to that piece of it, because I went down that user's Twitter profile, the guy who posted that.
Yeah, he's a satire account.
It's a satire account.
But so I noticed that, I laughed, whatever.
Yeah.
However, what this did is what it always does on the internet is if you can't tell between satire, parody, and if people are being serious, eventually people who are being serious are going to show up to that and serious post on it. So there were people that were seeing this that thought it was real, and instead of being like, what a jackass, were like, yeah, he was justified in his behavior. I got this one. This is a post that was on one of the PlayStation subreddits on this video. He's a true fan of PlayStation, and this betrayal will be remembered. Even though you worked with GG,
Guerrilla
but
Games.
even you can't grasp it. PC is a plague to consoles. It doesn't help the consoles; it only destroys them. Once again, my point is spot on.
I love that he calls that his point is spot on. So I have
Once
that
again.
same one. Once again, I'm right.
See?
See,
There was a couple others that I found. A former Guerrilla producer doesn't understand that the success built by his former company was done so on the basis of outstanding exclusives, and that scraping that exclusivity diminishes the brand value. Dude, this game is 3 years old.
dude, people
Maybe because exclusivity is what made this industry great.
Yeah.
Because we all love exclusives.
Dude, there's one more. Well, not everyone is subscribed to this kumbaya, everyone plays crap. There's people who came from the days when advertisements were like, Sega does what Nintendo don't.
They're mad about
Like,
that.
they like the console wars. Here's the thing, guys.
Dude, if you have nothing else to feel special for in your life other than the brand of video game console you own in your home,
how
brother.
does it diminish your experience that you had with the game? That's what I want to know. Like, more people are allowed to play it now? I don't understand why that would make somebody upset. I can't understand it. I can't understand the whole real console wars things, like when people are like, Xbox pride. No, bro, Xbox sucks. I like PlayStation.
I'm a brand loyalist. Look, if you at any point in your life have said that you're loyal to a brand,
They've got you, bro.
pump the brakes.
Yeah. You
And reanalyze what you're saying, because that is insane. I am committed to giving this one brand my money.
you are drinking
What?
all sorts of Kool-Aid that they're probably not even giving you. You made the Kool-Aid yourself.
Unless it's Nintendo, then you're okay.
Look, dude, you guys know how I feel about McDonald's, right? Like, I'm over the moon. After this episode, I'm going straight to the McDonald's because they just announced they're doing...
But what if Wendy's started making the Big Mac?
yeah, dude, and I was just so livid.
Are you kidding me?
The Big Mac was built on the industry of exclusivity. It's not going to be as delicious of any... Dude, you know what happened when...
Enjoy your
you know what happened
lawsuit.
when Carl's Jr. rolled out the Big Carl? Trent and I went straight to Carl's Jr. and got 2 of them.
Stacked all those patties
Stacked 'em
between
all.
2 buns.
Trent was disgusting. He had a 4-patty Big Carl.
Trent.
As his,
First time
as
trying
his
it.
inaugural
Maiden
Carl.
Big Carl voyage, and it was the best decision I ever made.
So yeah, people are mad. Also, good news: Horizon Zero Dawn's coming to PC.
Yeah.
All right, next
Not good
up,
news.
you guys knew this. E3 is canceled because of coronavirus.
Saw this
concerns.
one.
Along with
comment.
everything else.
I was just gonna say, dude, find something that isn't canceled. Find something that has a gathering of more than
Hey,
20
the Olympics aren't canceled yet.
But by the time this episode airs,
Wait, which
the
Olympics are these?
The
Where are
Tokyo
they?
Olympics.
Summer.
people. Tokyo can
In
eat this.
Tokyo.
They said
can
they're
eat
not
the
canceling
loss.
it yet.
No.
Of all the places too, like
Yeah.
just a hop, skip, and a jump from like the origin,
The hotbed.
hotbed of this.
Yeah. No, it's going to get canceled.
Yeah, so they're
if,
gonna
if
do
it's not
something-
canceled, they're not going to make any money because people are not going to go.
Right, and it's expensive.
Oh, people will go.
Yeah, people are stupid.
Just stupid people. will
People
go.
are stupid.
Well, I think countries will ban them from going.
I'm sure that'll
because look, this is
I saw some.
epidemic like 101. You don't bring everybody together and then send them back out. That is asking for it.
Bring them into a large group where
Have them hanging out for
From
a little bit.
literally every part of the world.
Yes, bring them all together. Someone's got it. Give it to others. Send them home.
I saw this college student that they were interviewing. I know they just like pick these outlandish stories and run them, but they interviewed him because he's like planning on going in spring break to Mexico, and he's like, "I've got a plan though. I'm gonna risk it because I'm gonna get in there before the virus gets big, and then I'm gonna get out before it takes over."
Smart.
And then the article
That's how it
said,
works.
asked if he considered this was a good idea. He said, "No, probably not."
Got to get my drink on though.
But I don't care.
Have you seen Cancun? Dude, can you imagine how bleak it would be to be in Cancun when no one's
Dude,
there?
by yourself?
Just walking sadly on the beach like Charlie Brown.
Spring break.
Kicking sand.
No one else is around. Just like one drunk dude stumbling around the beach.
Spring break.
Woo!
Does somebody want beads? All right. Next up, this is dope. Last of Us, the TV or the video game, which is still PlayStation exclusive. So keep your pants on, PlayStation loyalists.
At least we got that, guys. We
least
still
we
got.
got
But
Last
it's gonna
of
be
Us.
a show now. It's not exclusive.
Oh, it's gonna be on HBO.
Everybody
I'm gonna
gets
burn
to
my
see it.
underpants. Fuck,
Like,
dude.
please don't burn your underpants, sir.
I'm gonna leave them
Nope.
on. I'm gonna set them on fire.
Nope, they're getting
Because
burned.
Fuck myself. I hate it.
Why? I don't understand, sir.
Yeah, they're adapting Last of Us into an HBO series. I think it'll be cool. I think it's a good fit because you don't have to pay that many people. There's not going to be a big cast.
Like a huge cast.
There's
yeah.
not going to be it's not going to be a high cost production because it's just like you just go out into a forest.
Well, I
and
think
film it in
yeah,
a
I think
forest.
all of the biggest costs are probably going
They'll
to
just
be
reuse all the Walking Dead
there. You go.
sets.
They'll-
It's just exactly like
That's
going to
be
Maybe
the
some
cost.
of the
It's
shots,
just going to
too.
be
Yeah. Hopefully they come to Utah. That'd be cool because that's where
That's
the
where
first
Walking
Last
Dead-
of Us game ends. Is in Salt Lake
when
City.
a bunch of Walking Dead was filmed in Utah. Did you know that?
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
thought they mostly did it in Atlanta, which I never understood. Why you would film a show that requires that much face prosthetics to be glued to your face, where it's like 100
Atlanta.
degrees and humid.
No, I've seen.
Because it
I've
helps
seen
like melt a little bit into your skin.
Trent,
it becomes
Stop.
part of you.
Yeah.
stop.
And you just rub.
Haven't
it
you ever
in.
worn prosthetics? The more you sweat,
All
the
right,
better they work.
next up.
I have not. Oh, real quick though about The Last of Us, I'm confident in this because did you see who's on board with this?
Oh yeah, it's the guy behind the HBO miniseries Chernobyl, which if you haven't watched, you must.
It's so good. You got to watch it. So the creative director from Chernobyl, let's see, Game of Thrones executive producer Carolyn Strauss and Naughty Dog president Evan Wells. Like they're all on board making this thing happen. So, I mean, that seems like a good recipe, and I don't have any reason to not think it is.
I think
Right?
I think HBO has a really, really stellar track record with adaptations. I think, especially with I know The Witcher was on Netflix. I feel like these streaming services that have room to breathe,
Ooh, they're
when
real
they
hit
don't
or
have-
miss, though.
I don't. Yeah, that's true. But I think that the lack of production schedules and timelines and deadlines and stuff really lets them kind of.
Oh, when it's on
things like
not network
Westworld
TV
and stuff. Where
Oh
they can
yeah,
just like so. I think for Last of Us, for any video game adaptations, this is a really good home because a movie is like all those pressures of Hollywood, all that bullshit and crap. But with a throwaway HBO miniseries or a Netflix series, like it's easy to kind of get into these things. So I think it could be good.
the worst part about this is it's going to be on HBO, which means week by week, right?
Oh,
One
you just
episode a
wait.
week would be
Yeah.
the worst part.
I think the smartest viewers out there get an HBO membership 1 month a year and just catch up
Watch
on all
everything
the shit
and then shut it off.
Shut it off, and yeah, you can watch all of it for 30.
It's
bucks
really
a
not
year,
worth it
20
most of the
bucks a
time.
year.
Like the movies you have access to,
Aren't that great.
there's maybe like 2 or 3 that you might want to watch.
No, if I wasn't splitting it with Jackson, and I think he's splitting it with someone else, it wouldn't be worth it. But
Yep.
if you split it with people, it's pretty worth it.
Yeah, it's not that expensive.
No, it's like $15 a
Right.
month. Next up, we've got this is cool. So, CD Projekt Red, which is working currently on Cyberpunk 2077, has announced that the next game they're going to work on is Witcher. So it kind of sounds like they're in a kind of a Bethesda scenario where Bethesda switches back and forth between Fallout and Elder Scrolls, aka Skyrim, every other whatever. They're going to be looking to switch back to a Witcher game, and they said it's not going to be a sequel to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It's not going to be necessarily like in the same timeline as that.
Yeah.
It's going to be something outside of the other games they've made, so it could be really cool. But it sounds like they're just going to, right after Cyberpunk, they're going to get into it, and then they said we're just a Witcher / Cyberpunk studio. That's because after Witcher, we're going to go back to Cyberpunk.
That's fine as long as they're nailing them. Like that's fine, right?
Dude, I think
they
it's
take
good.
a long time on their game, so it's not like we're going to see this. This isn't like a Mass Effect Andromeda situation. We're not going to see this in 2-3 years.
No.
We're going to see this in
In
5, 6,
cyber-
or
the
7
next-
years.
The next Cyberpunk game you guys will see, if at the absolute most
Will
optimistic,
be
at the
2077.
end. Yeah, it'll be at the end of this console life cycle. That'll be the
Oh.
earliest you'll see the next Cyberpunk game because we still haven't seen the current one. But it's kind of cool. I think especially for investors and stakeholders in the company to know that's
We
here's
saw
our,
that-
here's our 14-year plan.
You saw that story. Wasn't it something like they're the biggest video game developer or whatever in Europe now?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, that's cool. They've got
Yeah.
some money. They've got some talent.
And
Just
they've
keep
got,
it rolling.
Yeah, take your time and just kind of do it right, and that's kind of what they've been doing.
I mean, they're
still crunching.
They're gonna make $1 billion on Cyberpunk. So whatever.
Cyberpunk. This is great. I just threw this one in for you, Peterson. The Nintendo moved to dismiss the Joy-Con drifting case that had been filed against them in that class action
Like a legal
lawsuit.
case.
Yeah, and they moved to dismiss it, and the U.S. District Judge threw that motion. They're
Look,
like, no.
The worst part
No.
about the Switch, and I've been saying this for a long time, the worst part about the Switch is the Joy-Cons. They're just a little bit cheap quality, kind of, and they do drift. I mean, all 4 of mine have drift now. I need to send them in, but they all have drift,
Which I
which
think
is
they fixed
crazy.
for free now.
Yeah, because Nintendo knows how to do better than that, but probably it's because the cost of making the Switch, and they're not making money on it, right?
Dude, it's a numbers game too. Because if 0.1% of your Switches have a drift, and you
it's
can
definitely higher than that.
well, and then you can check, and then there's people like you that just live with it.
Just
So
haven't
you have
sent
the
it
other
in.
percent that's
Yeah.
not gonna. You just ship those because
Yeah.
you're like, we're gonna sell the consoles, and people will be pissed. If people are super pissed, we can say send it in. But if they're not that pissed, then we'll be fine. They're not gonna lose any business.
I guarantee they fix this on the next iteration of the Switch.
Well, then you say the Switch Lite still has it?
Yeah, the Switch Lite still has it, but I mean, the Switch Lite's not like another iteration. It's essentially, it's like
The Switch U.
it's the same thing, but just hooked together.
God.
The Switch
The
U.
Switch U is a completely different console, entirely unrelated to the Switch.
Nothing like the Switch.
Nothing like the Switch at all.
In fact, the name Switch no longer makes sense.
But it's still called the Switch U. And then finally, you guys might have heard about this, but it kind of dropped out of nowhere, right? Just
I mean,
dropped out of a
they've
plane.
been talking about this, and finally it's
So
out.
Activision's worst kept secret is Call of Duty Warzone. This is a cross-platform battle royale game, and it's free. You don't
Yep.
need the base game. You don't need Call of Duty. The Call of Duty Warfare. What is it fucking even called at this
Modern
point?
Warfare?
It's just Modern Warfare.
I
They
don't
just
know.
gave up on it.
Maybe it's just Call of Duty.
It's called Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Well, they're going to follow the Gears of War model and just start calling it COD.
Guar.
COD.
The next one's just going to be COD.
Guar.
Guar.
So this is a free to play. You download it on BattleNet. It is a huge download. So if you want to play it, I've been downloading it for like 3
So I
days.
probably can't play it.
Because my computer keeps going to sleep.
I'm pretty much out.
It's like 85 gigs, I think. And so it just, if you've got a slow internet like me, I'll just hit download and then go to bed. And then I come back and it's like halfway because my computer went to sleep. And because I forgot to turn the settings off. So yeah, it's a big download, but download it. I'm going to try it this weekend for sure.
Okay, yeah. And
I know Aaron's playing it, so I want to play it there. Silverthorne.
I've heard good things.
Him and Silverthorne have been playing together, so I'll play with
People
them.
seem to like it, and it's cross-platform. It's it's their answer to Fallout / PUBG, and everyone's
Yep.
been wondering how it took Call of Duty so long to get their shit together on it. So good luck, and
Best of luck.
okie doke. Kudos is our positivity segment, where we like to give a shout out to something we like.
Yes.
And my kudos this week goes to
Yours is like a half kudos
why is it only half?
because what it says on the doc.
Oh, I don't have to say the last part.
Okay.
It's okay. I'll just delete that. No one will ever have to know about that. My kudos goes to the great state of Alaska. If you guys didn't hear, I was up in Alaska last weekend for the Iditarod.
Dude, how was it?
Oh my god, it was amazing. It was so amazing. It's the coolest thing. It's kind of a chore to get up there, obviously. But
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Of the Iditarod,
right? It's hard to get there. That was the entire point of the whole race, is that it's a very difficult area. But yeah, we flew up there and we watched what they do is a ceremonial start in the streets of downtown Anchorage, which is kind of cool. It's like a parade feel, and then
With a bunch of dogs?
yeah,
But it's not just
parade.
Huskies.
What do you mean?
For some reason, I thought it was just Huskies.
They are Huskies. They're called Alaskan. Here's a fun fact. They're Alaskan Huskies, which is not a formally recognized breed, but they're more of like a mutt husky.
I was going to say it looked like a bunch of different breeds.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a husky mixed with a short hair pointer and like a German shepherd and greyhounds. So it's a big mix because
a husky that can run really far.
so
Yeah,
they're
they're just,
designed
like-
to run. They're not like very warm, and the thing is the Iditarod. There's snow, and you look and you think it's cold and stuff. It's not that cold. It's like 20, like 10 to 20 at the coldest.
So the
it's not
dogs aren't
like-
out there like...
Yeah, freezing to death. They don't
Yes.
need to be. So there's another big dog race called the Yukon Quest, which is in the interior of Alaska, and it is a fucking nightmare. It's like -40, and it is just a hellstorm. And it's been described as more of a camping trip / survival trip than an
my
actual
gosh.
race. And they only use huskies, like Siberian huskies, because they die otherwise. But these dogs, like Trent said, they're skinny. They don't have like any fur on them, and they are like freaking out because they just want to run because they're cold,
just
and
gotta
then they
go.
warm up. And yeah, so they don't have these heavy coats, and so they can run way harder and way faster because they're sprinters. So yeah, it was really amazing. And then so we went up to the official race start is like 50 miles north of Anchorage. And it was in the middle of a blizzard, and I was on a bus that went diagonal down a highway, and it was terrifying, and I almost died.
50 miles?
Oh, yeah.
How long was that bus ride?
Oh, it was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
We almost missed the race start. We almost missed all of the racers at the formal race start. And so finally we roll up in the bus, and Jenna are like running to the start, and we were on the outside area, and I put her on my shoulders so at least she could see.
So she can see it?
Yeah, and so she's filming on her shoulders, and she filmed one of the dog sleds take off, and then I took her off my shoulders, and this couple came up to us, and they're like, hey, do you guys want these? And they just gave us VIP badges. I don't know, because they could see what big nerds we were.
Yeah.
And so we got to be like right
That's so
at
cool.
the freaking start,
Wow.
like 2 feet away from the dogs watching.
How many people were there? Was it a pretty big crowd?
At the official race
Like
start?
where you were live streaming it?
Oh yeah, so there were probably 1,000 people there, and so they start off across a big frozen lake, and so people are spread all the way down the lake. They call it trailgating. So they bring essentially a barrel and fill it full of wood, and they do barbecues and they grill.
Gosh.
And it's like,
Trailgating.
they just trailgate all up and down the trail, like because it's 1,000 miles, and so there's people like spotted like throughout it. But yeah, it was so cool. It's so beautiful. If
And
you
they're
guys
like,
have,
JD, we're going to take your badges away if you keep trying to pet all the dogs.
I just want
Stop
to
touching
Oh,
the dogs.
I have to say,
JD's like reaching over. And
I will put a caveat on this, kudos. We thought, we're going up to Alaska for the Iditarod. We're leaving our dogs at home, but it's okay. There's tons of dogs up there. I touched no dogs in Alaska.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. I didn't get to touch a single dog. There was
JD
a dog.
thought he would be rolling around with just hordes of huskies.
Is that so
on the
much to
ground.
ask? I was so mad. But other than that, yeah, if you guys ever have a chance to get up to Alaska, maybe not on a cruise ship, because apparently those are just patient
try not to
zero.
take one right now.
They're just petri dishes of humanity.
That's a good way to put it.
So don't go up on a cruise ship. But yeah, if you guys ever have an opportunity to go up there, you just absolutely have to, because it is gorgeous. The food was unbelievable.
Really?
Unfucking believable. We had breakfast at a breakfast joint that in Anchorage, which is about the size of Salt Lake City, but obviously, a different vibe and not the access to stuff that we have. Best breakfast. It would be the best breakfast restaurant in Salt Lake City.
Wow.
And then we had the best fish
Was it
tacos I've ever
Denny's?
had in my life.
Did you say, is it like Denny's?
It's like
Is it like IHOP?
This is my
Denny's
favorite New
adjacent.
York pizza joint.
Denny's.
Sparrows.
Yeah, so kudos
Wow.
to Alaska.
Awesome.
The good. The bad. The ugly.
All right. Good, bad, and the ugly. Y'all haven't heard it in a minute.
It's been a little while.
It's been a while. Like our legacy listeners are like, something familiar. Stop doing all the scripted content, you morons.
Nope.
Never gonna stop. Can't
We
stop. won't
have too
stop.
much fun with it.
So good, the bad, the ugly is our segment where we talk about good things, bad things, and things that are kind of in the middle in games. And this week we are doing, because this week we should probably introduce the theme of the episode. It's
Nah.
fantasy. Okay, we'll just go and you just figure
It's
it out.
Fantas.
It's Fantas.
Fantas.
So Trent
Fantas.
is playing Elder Scrolls Online. Jenna is playing The Witcher 3, The Switcher 3, and I'm
nice.
watching. And Peterson is perpetually consuming as much fantasy content as his brain can handle.
That's true.
So we thought we'd do a fantasy episode. We'd do a fantasy-sode.
Fantasode.
Fantasode. Come on, it
Fantasode.
was right there.
I should be drinking Fanta.
Not Fantasoda. That's different. Fantasode.
Fantasode.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're doing the Fantasode. And so our good and the bad and the ugly this week is fantasy tropes in fantasy.
Which, in the fantasy genre, there are...
The fantasy genre
It's
is a
lots.
trope.
It is, yeah. It
Of-
is the most
it is.
tropey of genres, I would
Absolutely.
say. It's sci-fi and fantasy, but I'm pretty sure fantasy's got it beat
Oh, yeah. They're
by a substantial margin.
It's pretty bad.
So, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to just go around the table and
Let's do
take
some
turns?
goods.
Just do good? Okay,
Yeah.
so
What's a good fantasy trope?
food heals you. I feel like I love that. You eat food, and if you've gotten stabbed, if you've gotten hurt somehow, it doesn't matter. You got a good, goat stew. You're good. Your health bar's down at 10 out of 100.
I did write something like
Four
this down.
wheels of cheese, and you're set.
You've just been through a battle. You are injured. and you eat a stew.
Eat a piece of bread.
Here's my favorite thing about fantasy, and this is across the genre in games, in books, in movies. Somehow they can throw together a stew in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
From a campfire.
Right.
From cold to done, 30 minutes. If you've ever made stew, that's not a thing.
No.
That's not a thing.
No, my kitchen is an absolute disaster. The sink is full of just shit.
And it won't get thick if you don't give it, like, seriously, 3 hours to just
yeah.
sit there and simmer. At least. At the very least. So, yeah, but that is a good trope.
I don't know. Maybe they're using magic.
Well, that's how you explain everything in fantasy. It's like,
Everything is
I don't know
fucking
magic. Magic.
How is that guy so good at swordsmanship? But magic.
Obviously, it was in
magic
his
guy.
blood from magic.
He's royalty.
He's got royal
He's-
blood. Yeah.
All
He
royals
just
are good
started,
at swordplay.
and he's killing soldiers who have trained their whole lives.
My favorite explanation of that is, well, the royals were born in like a society where they can like practice swordplay, and then they go fight in these battles against peasants that they just like put a sword in their hand. They're like, "Go fight!" and they're like, "Oh shit!" And then some guy that's been swinging a
Stabs
sword
him.
for 20 years just comes up and stabs him, and he's like, "I am a great warrior,
Best swordsman alive."
gone, peasantry!" And they're like, "Fuck! I didn't even have armor. They didn't even give me a shield. They just gave me a rake."
Is this rake made of wood?
And then
slapping
the guys,
people.
yeah, and then the knight is sitting in the great hall, like feasting. The night. I slayed 30 brave men this day. They're like, no, you fucking did.
Killed 30 farmers.
You killed 30 14-year-olds.
Yeah, and 3 of them were like running away.
You ran them down on your armored warhorse.
Cowardly bastards.
You killed him from a lance from like 15 yards away.
A hero. That's what a hero does.
We went into so many tropes in that. That was your good.
that was the trope section.
Yeah, that's the whole trope section.
Okay, I have one for my good, and I know it's a tropiest trope ever, but I still eat it up. So there's kind of 2 in 1. The main character or the protagonist is an orphan. Starts off as a child, doesn't know who his parents are. Of course, you find out later the parents were somebody famous,
The chosen one.
somebody well known,
The
and
chosen
along
one.
that, it's the chosen one. Was
that's
part
your
That's
Good.
what. That's my good
yes,
too.
it's good because here's the thing: it makes for some good story plot twists.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's coming every frickin' time. You know it's coming, but it still makes for like a good story point, right?
Well, and even though you know it's the chosen one, you're still wondering how are they the chosen one?
How chosen are
How
you?
chosen are you?
Yeah, could you have maybe not been the chosen one? There's always this little bit of a conflict, and they never grew up knowing it, and so that's where the conflict comes. Like, think Harry Potter, right? So that's like a fantasy trope that I know it's coming. It's in almost every single story, but I don't know. I still like it. I don't mind it at all.
Do you guys prefer when everyone can be magic if you study it and you are around it, or do you guys like you're born with magical capabilities?
Like magic blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, it's a select few.
Like
I like it when it's a
midichlorians.
select few. Yeah,
yeah.
they're in your blood.
Yeah.
Don't start this again. No, yeah, I like it when it's a select few. You can't learn it by studying, and or something unlocks it. Right?
Oh, okay.
There's been a couple stories I've read where like some sort of trauma will unlock, your abilities for some reason. Right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. How about what's your bad? What are some bad tropes?
The powerful artifact.
Okay.
I hate that there's just like okay, the ring is cool in Lord of the Rings, but at the same time having a single artifact in a fantasy setting that's just makes you all powerful, I just think it's kind of silly.
Boring.
It's boring.
Yeah.
It's lazy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any
I've got one kind of along those lines, and it was I just wrote it as the Valyrian steel. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
There's always some group in the past. There's some lost sword making ability, or some elven sword or something, and there's only a few of them left in the world. We don't know how to replicate it anymore.
Mithril.
Yes, like you don't know how to make it anymore. There's always this, and it makes these like legendary swords that are somehow like better than regular sword, right? Which is a funny concept in and of itself. Like a
This
legendary
metal stabs
sword
harder than that metal.
Like it doesn't matter if you get stabbed with a sword, you're stabbed with a sword. How is this one any different? Unless it's granting you magical abilities, which often isn't the case. Like Game of Thrones, they've got like Valyrian steel, which is harder, I guess, than normal steel. But like, so, and actually, I've seen multiple stories where it's that same name,
Valerian steel.
Yes, and you're like, what is this? So that's kind of my bad, because it is a way to explain away some of that.
Okay,
I'm a better
It's just the
fighter than you.
overpowered like weapon or ability or whatever.
I have a counterpoint that comes with a kudos.
Do it.
I watched one of my favorite documentaries of all time is called Secrets of the Viking Sword.
Okay.
It's a Nova documentary. That's the gold standard for me is Nova documentary. So anywhere that you can watch Nova, you can Google it. If you have PBS or whatever, it's called Secrets of the Viking Sword. It's free online. You can watch it. It's like 50 minutes. And it goes into this ancient sword that they found, or they knew rumors of. It's called the Ulfbrecht sword. And it was literally made out of, it was a Scandinavian, they were Vikings. Mm-hmm. It was a sword made out of Damascus steel. So brought all the way up from
steel.
like the Middle East / India, through all these trade routes, and then made in a very specific way. And they lost they don't know how they made it. They didn't know how they made it, but they keep finding these swords that say like Ulfbrecht on them. And they're the only swords that like survive. So they'll find a battlefield, just all these shitty, crappy, rusted.
Well, they don't even know how to make the steel anymore.
Yeah, and so the documentary is like this steel worker guy trying to make himself a sword using techniques that are only available at the time. It's really cool, but what they talk about in that is that if you did have one of these swords, you would beat people in a battle because it was flexible but like hard at the same time. So someone would
it was two different steel alloys.
Yeah.
So it was like one alloy was lighter and one was harder. And then when they were layered together, it gave you the best properties of both.
So someone would swing their sword at you and you just cut their fucking sword in half.
You cut their blade in half.
So yeah, I don't know if I'd want to be swinging a sword at someone and all of a sudden like my sword is in half and their sword is now swinging at my face.
Right. I guess part 2 of that is sword play in fantasy is like nothing like realistic real life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you're not one-on-one fighting anybody. You're like a mass of people that are just swinging,
poking,
stabbing,
squeezing, stabbing, trying to get it in there somewhere.
Just get it in anything.
My bad in
It's like
Fantasy
Spring
World.
Break.
So Fantasy World, what the fuck?
Spring Break in Cancun. This
Spring Break! Yeah!
woo!
Woohoo! Woohoo! So my bad is so fantasy worlds are awesome, right? They're super dope. Everyone wants to live in a fantasy world, but the problem is that you are gonna die. Like, let's be real. Like, you're gonna die
At a young age.
At a young age,
They are extremely deadly places to be.
yeah, it's not going to be like pleasant, and you, the average person, or you, the magical person, or you, the excellent swordsman, all of you are going to die an untimely death because that's how fantasy worlds work. So that's my bad.
There's constantly things being raided and marauders,
Or just
and
dragons.
monsters.
All of a sudden, you never know. All of a sudden, dragons are back. It's not
And
like,
you're like,
oh, there's an
wait,
earthquake
what?
for five minutes. It's like dragons are back.
I'm
The world
already
is
having a hard
ending.
time surviving, and then
Yeah.
a freaking dragon.
The only way
comes.
you survive the fantasy world is by avoiding the fantasy world. You've got like the old hermit wizards that are like living in a hut in the middle of nowhere.
They're
But those are the
and-
only old
and
people
people
in
are like,
fantasy.
oh, they're mystical and they're studying the magical
And
arts.
just hiding.
No, they're fucking hiding because they know how scary it is out there. It's terrifying.
Everything's a nightmare.
Life is a nightmare. And then ugly. My ugly is like your Damascus steel one or your Valerian steel one, because I think the ugly for me is how there's so many of these cool orders or guilds or creatures or like these cool things that you're like, oh, this is the neatest thing, but they're always dying out. It's like the Order of the Dragonborn. They're dying out. Or
Always.
like the Order of Witchers. You're the last one. I'm like, man, can I get a game when I'm at the start of this cool shit? You're Celebrimbor, the forger of the Lord of the Rings, ghost.
Yeah.
2,000 years after he died.
Look how many Jedi there are. There's so many.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Jedi,
and they're
it's
really
exact
killing everything.
same
They're just really great.
Jedi trope. He's like, the Jedi were an ancient order, thousands strong, defending the galaxy, and you're just sitting there like, oh, no, I guess
It feels like it's
Why
just
are there only
me.
3?
It feels like I'm all alone here.
That sounds like really cool, but I would like to see more of them.
Where are they?
Oh, damn it!
Because I am killing thousands of guys on my own.
They were so cool, and now they're all dying out.
Can I get like 10?
Don't
This would
tell
be
me-
so much easier.
Don't tell me how cool they are. They were.
Because they kind of suck.
Yeah.
They're not backing me up, so...
Yeah, and then the newest Star Wars, they're like, oh, well, Luke will JK. Luke will put it back together, JK.
No.
No.
So my ugly is actually maybe a little bit along those lines. The timelines of fantasy worlds are so stupid if you even think about it for half a second. Okay, so there's always, whatever time you're placed in the story, there's always a history when everything was grand and majestic, and maybe even technology was a little better, because there's always something that we don't understand it. We find these artifacts we don't understand, but they died out. And this is like, the timelines of this are like thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
They were 10,000 years ago, and technology has not advanced.
You just
in,
died out.
Like thousands of years. Everything has stayed the same medieval, run around with swords, and you're like, come on, guys. Think of what we accomplish in 10,000 years as humanity, right? It's so unrealistic, especially when they have access to magic, right? It makes no sense. The timelines of fantasy worlds are so wildly gigantic and so messed up. They're so backwards.
Dude.
Always. Every time.
Time's just frozen.
Can I just go on a brief
Please.
rant about the wildfire in A Song of Ice and Fire
Oh,
/
yeah.
Game of Thrones? You guys have seen the show, or if you've read the books, there's a substance called wildfire. It's a green liquid. It tastes like that.
Oh, gosh.
Tastes like Miami Cola.
Miami
By the
Cola.
way, do not
Miami
get the Miami
swamp
Cola
water.
Bang. I am drinking it for the caffeine, and every sip I take, I feel like I want to die. I'm not kidding. It's terrible. Sorry.
Tastes
Wildfire.
like Miami. Tastes like Miami.
Hey, if
runoff.
you've never been to Miami, taste this. You'll know what Miami is like.
You're like, that's exactly what it tastes
It
like.
kind of smells like this. Smells
Yeah.
like the way this tastes.
Alligator bile.
It feels like the way it tastes.
Yeah, so the wildfire in Game of Thrones is this substance. It's green. It's a liquid, and it apparently is very unstable and explosive. But apparently not so unstable you can't put it in a bunch of barrels on a boat. So
You can keep it in a basement for like...
yeah, it's pretty stable.
Couple hundred
It's
years.
got a long life. Yeah, it's got a long life. And they don't use it for anything. The entire Industrial Revolution was built around the concept that they found coal in plentiful enough amounts because it's an energy-dense material that they could use it to power machines. Because that made it efficient.
Because before it was like wood, right? You're using wood, and that's not efficient,
You couldn't
right?
get a steam engine going on wood
Yeah.
with the
You'd need
technology
so
that
much
they had.
wood.
You would need like metallurgical skills that are way beyond what your technology is at that time. But if you have a very energy dense material, you have an industrial revolution. And they have had wildfire for like 1 billion years. And they just
Don't use it.
Store it.
Keep it until you want to burn something.
And then
Until
they're like,
you want
"Why
to
are you still on fire with it?"
We're getting attacked. Use all of it.
Yeah, dude, it is essentially like fucking rocket fuel. Like for the amount of like energy that's displaced when you ignite it, it blew up a whole building. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like, and they're just sitting on it. They're like, meh. Should we invent like steam engines or like cannons? At the very least, the idea that you could put it in a cannon and use it in place because it's much more energy dense than gunpowder.
So that is a good point. I never thought about that, but yeah, they've
Oh,
dropped
I've been
this
thinking about wildfire since like the second
the first
book.
time you
It's
saw
been
it.
driving me nuts.
Wait a second. This sounds like rocket fuel.
Yeah, no, it's literally rocket fuel.
I will say one quick story that I love.
A spaceship made out of Valyrian steel with wildfire on the bottom.
We don't know what we're gonna do up there, but we're going.
Yeah, we don't know where space is. And apparently the moon
Or
is a
that
dragon's
space
egg.
is.
The moon is a dragon's egg. Let's go get it.
But we're gonna go get them dragons.
There's one story that subverts that fantasy trope of the timeline that I've really read, and that was one of Brandon Sanderson's books. It's the Mistborn trilogy, because the first trilogy takes place in like the classic medieval type of scenario, but the second trilogy in that same series on that same world is now in like a Western world. So they have guns, they've got trains, but they have all the same magical
I like
abilities.
magic and guns. I
And
want
then,
more of that.
and here's the thing: all the magic is metal based. So now that they're using metal for more technology, all of a sudden these people who can utilize the magic are they have way more access to stuff. And then he's been doing a third trilogy in like futuristic time. So the timeline's actually progressing and technology's progressing, which is interesting to me in a world where there's magic.
Well, so that
Very interesting.
feeds off of my ugly, which was just the medieval setting. I want to see a fantasy setting where it's like cyberpunk Tokyo with laser dragons and magic and weapons and
Cyberpunk fantasy.
yes.
Well, I mean,
but still dragons. I still want dragons. I just don't want it to be
It's like Thor. You're basically describing Thor. What was that last one?
Ragnarok. Yeah, but there's not dragons.
At the very start, that very first scene where the dragon's chasing him across the
Okay.
sky, and there's that dope like cyberpunk.
Yeah, I want more of that.
outrun.
Yes. No, like-
and then the music's playing. Yeah,
Like,
that would be
it
sick.
does exist, and I will say Star Wars is technically fantasy, not sci-fi. So it does kind of exist, but it's so few. There's so few stories like that, few good ones, I'll say, that do them well in a fantasy setting where technology exists.
Well,
right?
that's
Where
the thing
there's
about
still
Star Wars, though,
creatures
right?
and-
Is it's futuristic, but we're still using swords.
Yeah.
they're just lasers now,
Yeah.
but they're still swords.
Listen, so much about if you stop and think about the Star Wars universe just doesn't make sense. You just have to suspend any sort of realistic belief when you get there.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's our good, bad, and ugly. Any others?
I think that's it. Is this next one a reindeer game?
Oh, one real quick. Oh yeah, let's do this. We'll use this for a different segment.
Okay.
I had one others. Yeah, this is a reindeer game.
Don't play no reindeer games with me.
Reindeer Games is our segment where we play games on the podcast, because who doesn't like to play a game?
We like to play games.
So this one doesn't have a name, but we're calling it Ruin My Fantasy. I don't fucking know.
Fantasy Ruiners. The
Fantasy Island.
Oh wait, that's something different. I think.
No, you're thinking Temptation Island. Equally awesome.
Let's
but
play
then it's just
Temptation
like-
Island.
Remember how Temptation Island came out and everyone's like, "Oh, this is the downfall of Western civilization. Everything's gonna go to shit." And now there's 3 of them every year on ABC, and they're called The Bachelor.
They're called Bachelor series.
Yeah, and it's way
that's
fucking
pretty
worse.
much Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah, Temptation
The same
Island,
thing.
and everyone's like, "Yeah, it's wholesome.
This
it's
is
family
great.
friendly. They're
We
gonna get
love it."
married at the end."
Yeah.
Gross. All right. Okay, so each of us have a bunch of different elements. We're going to slowly build our own fantasy world. Each
Yeah, like, what do we
person's going to
want?
start putting things in, and I'll be writing these down. And then the other 2 people have to ruin them. It's like a monkey paw situation.
Yep,
That's
yep.
a good. We'll call this the monkey.
monkey paw.
The monkey paw. Okay,
Okay.
so this is the monkey paw. Who wants to start with our first? And I will be notating.
Trent, why don't you give us what's an element of your fantasy world that you want to build? Just something that
Animals can speak.
exists. Ooh.
Animals can speak. They only speak in Gilbert Gottfried's voice.
Okay.
Hi, I'm a bunny.
Hey everybody! I can't even do it.
What was that?
Affleck. Hey, everybody.
That's a dog.
I know, but
Affleck.
he's the voice of the Affleck.
Hey,
guy.
everybody.
He's not.
Isn't he do the original one? Who does it?
He's not.
I swear he did the
I have
original one.
no idea.
Look it up.
You guys.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, he was the voice of the original Affleck, Doug. That's why I did. It gets you in the mindset. Everyone can hear that. You go up to a little lizard.
Hello there, Trent. I have a quest for you.
Oh no!
Come back. Where you running to?
Okay, my
Always way
Have
too
you ever
loud.
heard him
Red,
read 50
the
Shades of
erotic
Grey?
best-selling
No.
novel read by Gilbert
Uh-oh.
Gottfried.
My
Is
inner
it the whole book?
goddess has stopped dancing and is staring too, open mouthed and
this is what they all
like-
sound like.
Hear it.
Come
the
here,
way
little
it was
doggo.
meant to be.
Hello! Hello! I am your dog!
Please stop talking. No, okay, so that would ruin it. My ruin is that they only speak. Every animal speaks their own language. So if you want to talk to them,
You have to
learn
learn it.
every individual species' language.
Bark,
all I
bark!
hear is they're
Bark,
obnoxious.
bark, woof, woof, ruff!
Meow.
Meow, 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 meow.
You're like, so you can speak to animals, but you're like, yes, I specialize in rabbit, and I do not know any other languages.
You hear a dragon flying over.
Buzz, buzz, buzz!
Oh shit, dragons! How can you be scared of anything?
Fire's coming your way!
Okay, Peterson, what is yours?
Okay, so I had actually a very similar one, but it's a little bit different because it's not talking to them.
This is the same world, by the way, so make sure that they sync up.
Beast tamers. So
Beast tamers?
yeah, so part of the magic system is you are beast tamers.
There are beast tamers? Like,
Yeah.
that's the main magic?
No, that's just one of the magic.
One of the magic
Is you can
abilities.
tame beasts.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so you can tame beasts.
Hey, come be my friend!
I don't know how to ruin this.
It's already kind of
I don't even
ruined.
know. I was going to say, yeah, it's already ruined because all the beasts are terrible. And I don't want to tame any of them.
You want them to be your, like, they were automatic companion.
Okay,
like,
okay. They talk to you. You can talk to them all in your head. Can't stop it. So they're out in the stable. Your horse is out in the stable.
If you tame an animal, you always
Your
have
inner voice becomes
you are-
Gilbert Gottfried.
yeah,
You always have that mental
Yeah,
connection
exactly.
with every animal you've tamed.
I'm
And-
eating hay right now!
Nom,
Could
nom,
you bring
nom,
me
nom.
some more oats?
And
Apples, please!
and if you're a beast tamer, you can no longer talk to other humans.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. So that's the only interaction you ever have is in your own head, your horse screaming at you in Gilbert Gottfried's
Everyone just
voice.
feels bad for the beast tamer.
You can
Everyone hates the beast tamers.
you
Oh,
can
no,
automatically
he's
recognize
back.
them because they'll just look at you and like crying with this like, please help me look in their face. They can't talk to you. They're just like,
They're walking next to a horse and they're just like sobbing softly.
beast tamers are actually making all the animals extinct because they're like, I can't do it anymore. We're gonna hunt them all and kill them all. It's the
Okay.
only way I can find peace.
Okay, so here's our next monkey paw detail is a peaceful nation rules over the lands of men.
So a peaceful nation.
Yeah, so men, they're all the place that men folk live is ruled by one very peaceful kingdom.
Okay,
Sounds nice, right?
that does sound nice.
Sounds like a lovely place you'd like to live.
Let's see. Hold on.
Monkey paw me.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, monkey paw.
Oh, I'm gonna monkey paw you, bro. What? Okay, let's see. So there's a king. You live in this
paw
kingdom.
curls.
It's peaceful and it's ruled by, essentially.
You don't necessarily live in the kingdom, though. It just rules over all of man.
So there's
right?
one kingdom that rules over all of mankind.
Probably not beast tamers though. Those guys seem
They're not really
outside-
mankind
no,
anymore.
they sound like schizophrenics. Like it's just like this nightmarish hellscape they live in.
The beast tamers. Okay. Let's see. They maintain their power. I mean, this is pretty easy, but I was going to say the only way they can maintain the control over the population is by sacrifice, human sacrifice.
There is human sacrifice in our magical kingdom.
Well, it's kind of like the hidden secret, right? So that's the only way they can maintain it is by human sacrifice.
Yeah, peace just means the absence of war. It doesn't mean
Right.
it's like nice.
It's not a utopia.
Wait, so like every time there's some contention breaking out, they just kill somebody?
they're like, oh,
slaughtering
gosh.
babies.
Yeah.
Bring up the
Children
babies.
virgins, whatever the situation is. There's a different.
Where do these people come from? Does it have to be
the populace?
Is it someone from within the city, or does it have to be like a peasant?
I think there's very stipulations for because this is
Like
obviously
the worse the contention,
they're
the
like,
higher
oh,
up
shoot.
the sacrifice.
Yeah. Like, oh gosh, this is pretty bad. We're gonna have to sacrifice 7 virgins, right, and 2 children. This is there's like a scale. There's a spreadsheet out there.
Okay, so there's human sacrifice. Any other monkey paw details?
This kingdom gets to control the role of everyone else, meaning they choose who's a beast tamer. They choose.
no!
You're like pawns, basically, in their little.
Okay. So
Okay.
far, this is sounding pretty good. I
It's
can't wait.
not horrible.
Okay, let's do one more, and then I'll talk about the world that we built.
Okay, I'll jump in because I guess this fits with what we've built so far. Anyone can use magic,
Damn it! That literally is mine.
but anyone can use magic using a magical quote unquote battery of sorts, right? So it's not unlimited. There's a limit, and there's a battery of sorts. So I guess what's the battery? What is the power? What's powering the magic?
The only way to refill your magic is by drinking your own urine.
So the magic is really in the
So
urine.
you see some like epic wizard out there like casting some dope spells.
You know he's
during
been
a-
drinking a ton of piss.
and his own piss.
He just always has this face.
His fucking water world. Yeah, dude, it's like fucking Kevin Costner water.
No. He's running around. He's running around with a what are the? What
He
is
just got
it
a catheter
called?
hooked
A
straight up his
camelback.
Catheter,
A camelback.
catheter.
Just cycling through.
My court wizard will be able to handle this battle. And he's like, please, God, no.
He's like in a real bad situation. You see him over there, like kind of shaking. Come on. I know I need a little bit more.
Just drinking coffee all the time.
No, and then you see they take a sip, and then there's like, like, oh god, just like trying not to vomit the whole time.
The best wizards, though, the best wizards can just choke down, just guzzle
chuck
piss
it.
like
They kinda
straight down
like
their
it.
throat.
The more you like it, the better you are at
The best
magic.
part is it has to be your own.
It can't be any other piss.
Or can it?
No, we've tried. It doesn't work.
Have another wizard peeing in your mouth. Just got to try this real quick. Hold up.
Gotta test the magic.
Yeah.
Of
Is
Merlin.
it your pee? Is it your family, your bloodline's pee? Is it other wizards' pee? What is the...
Look, dude, I suppose if you drank enough of your own urine, you could change the rules and make other people's pee magical. Or
turn it into your urine?
yeah.
Oh, man, I don't like this.
Okay, do you have another one? Because mine was magic related.
That was literally my other one. But
Okay.
how about... oh, it's another animal one. We can't do that.
Yeah, we can't do more
Can't do
animal ones.
animal ones. What about there are humongous dragons?
Like how humongous? Like the size of a...
There are how home-sized dragon.
But they're super clumsy.
very clumsy dragons.
They're just crashing into stuff all the time.
Very clumsy.
Dragons are only a threat because they're just stupid.
They trip and on the air as they're flying and fall out of the sky sometimes.
Birds like to hit up on those like those gusts of winds and those drifts, but the dragons hit them. They're like, "Oh shit! Oh shit!"
Going down.
It's almost like,
But it's in Gilbert Gottfried's voice.
Oh, God! I'm coming down on your village again! I'm terribly sorry!
I was gonna say instead of breathing fire, they shoot their feces at you.
Which goes along with the clumsy thing. They're just awful. They're just awful
Because
creatures.
they're like birds.
just shitting themselves constantly.
They're like birds, right? Birds fly around and poop on stuff. That's what they do. They just fly around and drop monstrous deuces at you. You want to fight one? You better have good
you
armor.
get dropped randomly into this fantasy world, and you see a dragon coming, and you're like, "Oh no!" and you're freaking out, and all the villagers are just rolling their eyes, and they're like, "God damn it.
Everyone runs to the fields. They're like, guys, if we can do this right, they're going to fertilize our fields real well.
They're looking at them like pigeons. It's like people in the city that just like look at pigeons and like, ugh, disgusting. The dragons are just like flying into windows and shit.
This one has diarrhea. Run.
Oh, God! I must have eaten a bad sheep.
A bad sheep? A black sheep.
Some fucking poor beast tamer's running after his shitty dragon. He's like, I wish the kingdom hadn't assigned me a dragon.
I hate this dragon.
I hate this kingdom.
Only thing he can speak to.
Yeah, dude. He can't talk to anyone about it or voice his complaints.
Hey,
And they slaughtered his whole family in the last round of sacrifices. So he's just like, God, the dragon's the only thing I got left.
And it won't stop dropping deuces all
on
over
the village.
oh gosh, what if the never mind. Okay, let's see. The main antagonist, like the bad guys, is a necromancer.
The bad guys are necromancers?
Yeah, like the main bad guy
Okay.
is a necromancer, like the ruler of the kingdom that's your mortal enemy.
Okay. I feel like already it's bad.
There has to be a big bad.
I had
though.
one idea for this, but I won't say it because I can't monkey paw myself.
Okay, he is a necromancer, so he brings things back to life and reanimates them, right?
Yes.
So the thing he brings back to life has to be a bad thing.
But his primary role is bringing back to life the beasts of beast masters who have killed their beasts because they're annoyed.
So he's tormenting the Beastmasters.
He
is what
literally
he's doing.
only exists to torment Beastmasters.
He doesn't bother anyone else. Beastmasters just have the
gets-
most
So he's a
awful
huge troll.
existence.
He's a huge troll.
They get sick of listening to their Gilbert Gottfried horse, and they shoot it, or they
And then the
they
necromancer's like,
slit its
nope.
throat, and it's back.
Like
You tried to kill me, and now I'm back to haunt you.
drink some more of your piss.
Everything has a cost in this world. Absolutely
Like a
everything.
horror-
And it's all
Horrifying
fairly
thought.
just annoying. It's
If you're a Beastmaster. Okay, so here's our fantasy world. In our fantasy world, animals can speak, but they only speak in the Gilbert Gottfried voice in their own language directly into the brains of beast tamers,
Oh my gosh.
who also can't speak to humans and are assigned their job by the peaceful kingdom that rules over the entire world of men. That also, their economy seems to be based around human sacrifice.
That piece is kept by human sacrifice, guys.
That's also how they exchange goods. You want to buy some food? You got to kill somebody.
Is this a good deal for you?
You want some food, you bring somebody for them to kill right fucking there. So you're like,
gosh.
can I get that loaf of bread? And you're like, here is a small child that I brought. You may kill them in front of me as a sacrifice, so I may buy this
Getting
bread.
so dark.
This is not a great place to be, you guys.
Has to be equivalent size.
And then anyone can use magic in this world, which is great, but you can only use it if you drink your own urine.
Yeah, it's fueled by piss.
There are gigantic, clumsy, incontinent dragons that fly around the world.
Like giant pigeon dragons.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. Is the dragons are just big pigeons.
A lizard
House-sized
They don't
pigeon.
even-
It's a
House-sized
giant lizard pigeon.
And they don't breathe fire or really pose that much of a threat
Shit
to
on
people.
you.
They just shit on
And
your
run
stuff
into your house.
and run into your windows, and you're like, ugh, another one, dude. I just picture a dragon like constantly. They're always flying into mountains, so their corpses just like riddle the mountainside.
Just flying. You see a dragon flying in the distance, and it trips in the air and falls into the cliff and just starts tumbling down the mountain a ways.
And then
you're
if it just somehow like brings itself back to life, you're like, oh, he must be tormenting some beast tamer.
oh, I
Not
see
our
what happened
problem.
here. You see some necromancer up on the mountain. You're like,
Just
ooh, poor
laughing to
guy.
himself. By the way, the necromancer is always in hysterics. He's laughing so
He's an
fucking hard.
absolute troll.
Sociopathic necromancers.
You fucking get so frustrated with your house cat that won't stop yelling at you. Meow, 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 meow. So you fucking strangle it. And then all of a sudden, this Beastmaster, poof, he's in there. He's like, dude, This is the best part of my job. I love this.
Just make people go crazy. That's all I do. I just make people go insane.
All right, so that is Monkey Paw. I loved that and think we should probably do it some more.
Yeah, we'll do another Monkey Paw.
Next up, we've got another, because you guys love them. I don't know what you did to us, but we're going to keep doing radio
Just having
plays.
fun.
It's a grab bag. We have two of them. Peterson's just going to pick one.
So I'll actually introduce it. So here goes our radio play. This is a realm famous knight who is picking a new squire. So here's our radio play.
In the fantasy world of Smoggengak, men cling to a tenuous hold over their homes. Beasts and creatures of the night fight at the edges of settlements, looking to reclaim their lands. But heroes abound. Heroes looking to prove themselves. Heroes of great stature. Heroes vastly outnumbering the amount of non-hero people. Heroes swinging ludicrously large swords. Heroes so great in mass they decimate granaries and livestock and put pressure on local economies to support their caloric intake. Heroes. The hero of our story today, Sir William Bragg-Morrington, finds himself standing in the middle of a muddy courtyard atop an overturned barrel. He is looking for a new squire, having consumed his previous one. Squires are small, but hope that by serving heroes, they can become much larger and more difficult to feed someday. Alongside him is his trusty advisor and mage, Scraggletoe.
Come, gather round. Gather for a chance to serve me, the great William of Bragganshire, who is in considerable need of a squire. I've not had this armor off in a fortnight, and it's growing tight around the midsection. And you, young maiden, bring me the leg of a goat, or I'll be having leg of you.
Sir, we must refrain from threatening to eat people. It apparently brings them great displeasure.
You'd think they'd consider it an honor to serve as fuel for a great hero, to fertilize the soil of his victorious battlefields?
Yes, you'd think.
Now who would like to join me in tracking and hunting down these vile goblins? They're a plague on this town and must be vanquished.
Excuse me, please, sir. My name is Colin Goblin. It would be a great honor to me to be your trusty squire. I love and adore your heroic acts as a human hero, and my sole purpose in life is to make you happy.
Tell me more, young man.
Sir, please. This is clearly a goblin. His name is literally Colin Goblin.
Pure coincidence, I assure you, my greatness.
Scraggletoe, it's pure coincidence. Now please, go on, Colin.
Colin Goblin, if you please, my liege.
Yes, Colin Goblin.
I have much experience with the noble and cunning goblin tribes of which you speak, great sir.
Is it because you yourself are a goblin?
Scraggletoe! There clearly is no connection between our young Colin and the...
Colin Goblin!
There is no connection between Colin Goblin and the noble and cunning goblin tribes to the south.
This is preposterous. His skin is green, and he has obviously sharp teeth.
A trick of the light, I'm sure. I've heard old candles can emit a greenish hue.
Yes, I've heard the same.
What?
Come, Colin Goblin. Let us depart on our quest to exterminate the Goblin Scourge. I'm sure the townspeople will reward us with a grand feast upon our return.
As our heroes travel south into goblin territory, the trees grow much higher and the forest much darker. The cries and howls of terrifying beasts echo through the black woods as Sir William Bragg-Morrington, his flawless squire Colin Goblin, and Scraggletoe navigate a narrow trail.
Tell us more about the goblins, Colin.
Colin Goblin!
Yes, tell us more about the goblins, Colin.
Colin Goblin! Men fear goblins because of their great intelligence and battle prowess, and their very beautiful women.
I see.
I cannot hold my tongue any longer. Colin, tell me truthfully. Are you a
Colin Goblin!
Scraggletoe, silence! I think there's something just around that bend.
Suddenly, dozens of goblins burst forth from the trees. They are heavily armed and quickly surround the trio. One casually stabs Scraggletoe in the stomach, while the others train their spears on Sir William.
Scraggletoe, you let us walk right into their trap.
I did what?
Aha! My plan worked! For I am not mild-mannered Colin Goblin, but a goblin in disguise! You have been deceived!
Scraggletoe, we've been deceived. How could you allow this to happen?
I think I'm dying.
No matter. These foul beasts are sure to meet their demise at the end of my cold steel blade. For Smogengak, and Scraggletoe, and Colin Goblin.
That was it.
So that was our radio play. Hope you guys liked it.
Hope you like our fine acting. By the way, Trent's voice.
Dude,
He was made for that character.
killed us the whole time.
Absolutely. Dude,
Nailed
there were
it.
many times we were struggling.
Don't play no reindeer games with me.
Another reindeer game. How lazy are you guys? How late were you up half-assing the planning
We
of this episode?
just, we'd like to do the reindeer games.
So it's going
Like
to be
we said,
short, and you're going to use 2 reindeer
guys,
games?
2020, we are having fun.
2020, we are funning it in.
This is just what we wanted to,
gonna
well,
fun it
actually,
in.
JD and I did sit down and we were like, you know what? If we want to try something, let's just do something. If we're having fun with it, let's do it, right?
And if you guys have suggestions, like, it'd be fun if you guys just only drank Miami Cola through the whole
nope.
episode.
I'm going to turn that one. That's a negative.
You just
I'll do
hit
it.
us up on Discord, Twitter, Facebook. We're everywhere. Or send us an email. Or jump on our website. Leave us a voicemail.
Look, and also you have to understand, like, this is the slow time in the gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just blasting through BattleTech and playing games that I have,
Still need to play
Pokemon.
that.
So look, in the next couple months, though, big games start releasing again, and then we're going to start talking about big games again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so this is our fun time. Enjoy it. Enjoy the fun doldrums. Fun doldrums.
That's a great word.
Right, so this reindeer game is Would You Rather. Been loving Would You Rather, and this
Oh, yeah,
is
we
Would
love
You
this
Rather Fantasy Worlds. So
I want to start with a really easy one, just a real
Okay.
softball.
Yeah.
Would you rather? So would you rather play? So I'm talking about a game. Would you rather play a space fantasy or a medieval fantasy game, just in general?
Space fantasy.
So like you're talking Jedi type of situation,
Oh,
like
yeah.
magic in
Oh,
space.
yeah, because then you get magic mixed with technology, and I am here
There's for sure
it.
are there space dragons.
If you want
Then space.
space, do they fly around in space or on the world?
For sure in space.
Do dragons instead of
Space
spaceships?
dragons, yeah.
they're dragons,
And you
that
ride on
fly
their
around.
backs.
And you just hold your breath planet to planet.
It's fantasy.
Ragnagrax!
You just hold
You don't
your
need to
breath.
hold your
Take
breath.
me to the moon!
Fantasy space has oxygen.
and it has different rules.
Oh my god.
Has different rules.
You you fall off your dragon in fantasy space.
You
and
just float there.
You just fucking float until you die
It's
of
like
thirst.
swimming. You just swim along.
There's always another dragon.
Ooh, this is real. It's gonna take me a long
Yeah,
time
I was
pumping
gonna
your
say,
arms.
What are the dragons flapping their wings against if space isn't full of oxygen? Like, it
It's
has
magic, JD. It's magic. They are creating
dragons
their
To be.
own
Every time
atmosphere.
I beat my wings, I'm pushing magic.
The
behind
dragons
them.
have thrusters.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, wait.
See?
So it's
See?
it's technology. So maybe the dragons exist on a world, and you actually create like armor for them
That like
and
dragons with jetpacks.
with jets, and they fly
Yes.
through space.
Quit looking back and forth, like
We've got
desperate
this.
that one of us is going to
No,
prove
we've
it.
got this.
Confirmed the idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jetpacks. They have what's it called when
What
they can
was the
do light
original
speed?
question?
I don't remember.
That's called light
space
speed.
fantasy or medieval fantasy.
Sounds like a pretty hard space fantasy here.
yeah. Okay.
Would you guys rather, in a fantasy world, eat goblin meat or troll meat?
Hold on.
Troll meat.
Wow.
Goblins are gross. It's like
I'm sorry.
That's like, would you rather eat a rat,
Right?
or would you rather eat a buffalo?
You
no.
think trolls
have
are
you
like
seen
buffaloes?
Have you seen Willow?
I'm just going off of size.
Have you
here.
seen Willow? Because the Willow trolls are nasty.
Yeah, I say both these animals are disgusting.
They're not even animals. They're
What do they
humanoids.
eat? They're eating like fucking like moss.
man flesh.
Man flesh. Ooh, that actually sounds pretty good.
What?
Do you
No,
think-
you can't eat
would
man
you
flesh,
Eat,
JD.
would you eat bacon from pigs that had eaten people?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
still
yeah,
a
I bet it'd
pig.
be so good, especially if they were Americans. Are you
Why?
kidding me?
Why does that make a difference?
The
Because
pig's
they're
gonna
fatter.
be fatter.
Oh, it's a real fat pig.
Well, he's going to be eating nothing but fat.
Yeah, that's true. Like 90%
Is
fat.
Fantasy America fat too?
Wait. In my fantasy, it is.
All our fucking like greaves and stuff are like extra large.
Yeah, the armor's like real round. It's like dwarves, essessentially.
There's always
Americans
just
are
sweat
dwarves.
dripping out of the armor.
Do you have this chest plate in a quadruple XL?
No. do you have this chest plate? Oh, hold on. Quadruple XL.
There's jazzies. They're in like full suits of armor on a jazzy.
It just instead of horses.
Dude, everyone has to ride a draft horse.
And they have to have a lift to get them up on it. Wait, what was the question again?
Goblin or troll meat? Trent
Goblin.
goes so hard on the
Goblin.
troll
Goblin.
just based on the size.
So
Gross.
goblins are probably going to be stringier. Trolls are probably going to be gamier.
Steakier.
No, I
You
think
just
they're
chose,
gamier.
You just chose stringier over gamier?
Well, here's the thing. Trolls are, I don't know, they're both pretty gross. But I think goblins are,
Okay.
in my
Tell
mind.
me which fantasy world you're pulling your troll from.
Okay, my troll is my troll is coming
Harry
from
Potter troll /
So they're
Lord of the
huge
Rings
and
troll.
beefy.
Wait, so
Like a
wait, what's a
buffalo.
Lord of
Yeah,
the Rings
but what
troll?
does the inside of them taste like?
Wait,
Like a
which-
buffalo.
Which one of the?
How
No, they
much
don't taste
buffalo
like
have you
buffalo.
eaten?
I've had some jerky.
No, buffalo tastes like
I'd have troll jerky.
cattle.
I'd have troll jerky before I had goblin jerky. Trent's good on that.
No, goblins are more humanoid, so they're eating normal-ish food. I feel like trolls eat garbage,
Yeah.
and so they're gonna taste.
Or do they just pick up livestock and just eat them?
Well, wait, are these gigantic trolls?
Yeah, I thought trolls ate cows. Like they just picked up
Wait,
cows.
okay, hold on. Goblins
those giants?
are like little green, are like shorter than humans, green guys, right?
You're thinking giants. Trolls are like gross.
You're
I'm
thinking
thinking
ogres.
trolls.
You're thinking ogres. Like big old ogres. I feel like trolls are more.
You're right. Okay, if I think like Warcraft for a second.
Yeah,
trolls are
like-
also stringy.
Yeah, trolls are kind of like humans.
Okay, still troll
I would say
jerky.
trolls are greasy.
Yeah.
You ever had meat that was like greasy?
Yeah, like rabbit.
Like a troll burger.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no, troll burger might be good because it's greasy. A lot of seasoning
And
though.
then goblin bacon. Ooh, what about troll bacon? Just
No.
taking off that back.
You know what?
Trent, no.
I can't not.
Okay,
have to do it.
Let's
I have to say Traken.
Traken. Let's go unanimous. I think trolls is the way to go. I think trolls are maybe a little less gross. Goblins live in like caves and stuff, and they're just
No,
kind of
trolls
like
live in caves.
No, trolls live in mountains.
Goblins live under bridges.
Trolls live in forests.
no trolls live under bridges because goats
right.
goats attack trolls.
Trolls
Either
make
way.
you answer those questions to get over the bridge.
Yeah.
That's a sphinx.
Oh, I'll eat a sphinx. Can we eat sphinxes?
Oh, sphinx is no
Okay.
brainer.
Aren't sphinxes made of stone?
No, but they're kind
That's
of
a
they're kind of
statue.
like animals. You're thinking of a golem.
You're thinking of the actual sphinx in Egypt. And sometimes, yes, Trent, they are made out of stone.
Yeah, I'll try a rock. I don't care.
I fucking rock.
Wait, can we eat rocks?
All right, what's our
Where
next
are we
one?
You
going?
can. Would you rather be a necromancer or a wizard?
Ooh.
Well, it seems like a necromancer is just a wizard with only one spell.
A wizard with a specialty. With a
So a wizard that went to like a specialized trade school.
Like, would you rather be able to control like undead minions, or would you rather be able to like cast magic spells?
Yeah, so I feel like a necromancer is going to have more of like an army. He's going to have other people fight for him, and a wizard kind of does their own offensive spells.
I feel like the wizards always got that career change option though, whereas like necromancers can't come back.
Yeah, they don't know a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's like a specialist or a generalist, right?
Yeah, I'd rather be a generalist.
Yeah, I think I'd go wizard.
I bet a wizard could do just a titch, just a light amount of necromancy, and that's as much as I'd like to do.
This is my would you rather. No. The wizard cannot do any necromancy.
Yeah.
So it's a commitment.
No, it is.
Yes.
It is in the wizarding
You either
world,
cast like fire and ice spells, or you raise the dead.
Yeah, like in the
Fire and ice
wizarding
spells.
in the
This seems
wizarding world,
straightforward.
necromancy is like really frowned upon.
Oh yeah.
This
Yeah.
is not a good thing that you're doing. But here's the thing: if I was a necromancer,
Augustus, this is not a good thing you do.
that's what they sound like. The wizard council sounds exactly
Sounds like
that.
a fat German mother.
I feel like anything you brought back from the dead is gonna have a funk to it. You know what I mean? Have you ever thought about that? They're surrounded by like dead things. It's gonna smell bad. I don't want to do that. I'd rather be a wizard.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you're a powerful mage, a very powerful mage. Okay.
Powerful mage.
Okay.
But once per week, you crap yourself uncontrollably.
We love crapping ourselves
and without
in this
warning.
episode. Drinking our pee.
All right, toilet humor.
You're like the most powerful magic.
Yes, but once
magician
per
in the
week
land.
at a random time
just
during
shit
that
your
7-day period.
pants.
Yeah, you crap yourself and it's uncontrollable and you can't feel. You don't know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh no, it's happening, right?
I'm
Or
dragoning.
every time every time you cast a spell, you gain 2 pounds.
For infinity?
Yeah, so you'd have to like work those pounds
Crap
off
myself.
if you don't want to be a huge fat guy.
Can I cast spells? Can I cast essence of weight loss?
No, that's not a real spell.
Can I float? Can I
You can't just
levitate?
make up spells.
Can I like wheelchair levitate around?
Yeah.
Well, that might be fat. Could be fun.
You'd be a huge. But listen, you're gaining weight as your every time you cast levitate.
That's fine.
No, you cast levitate for
Dude, you're going to be
permanent.
like 400 pounds real quick.
If I can levitate, why does that matter?
Your heart's going to give out and you're
What if I
going
can
to die.
cast Ironheart?
You can't. That's not a spell.
Could be.
You don't have unlimited powers.
Look, dude, I'm a powerful enough magician. People aren't going to say anything. The only
Is that
problem
what you're
with-
worried about?
Yeah, the only problem is shitting yourself.
Well, if we're playing like medieval setting, like
yeah,
fat
everyone's
is
shitting
good, right?
Well,
Like
sort
that.
Of, but
Chubby
by that
is
same
good.
argument, everyone is shitting themselves constantly, and everything
No,
smells
just
of
once
shit.
a week. Just
Hey,
once
you know
a week.
he's a king. He's the only one that he's getting caught any shit on him.
Just once a week. Just crap your pants.
I got to go with crap my pants.
I gain weight.
You'd be a big fat mage. Yeah. I mean, you could. My other thought was like, oh, what if the power of your spell? That's how much weight you gained. So the cost was in weight gain.
Can I like
So
go on a
if
spell diet?
You light a candle and it's like, I don't know. It's like a point
Yeah,
point
it's like a
one
gram.
pounds.
Like, does it diminish if I don't cast magic for a long time?
well,
Does
no,
it
you got to
slowly
burn the
come
weight.
off?
No, you got to burn it calories like exercise. You got to exercise. To
So you
burn
do
it.
magic like 6 months.
If
a
I'm
year.
always
then you're
performing
just
magic
on a
from the
diet.
back of a bicycle, like
I guess you're just and you're
I'm the
just
bicycle mage.
neutral.
Yeah.
right. The bicycle mage.
I'd be a bicycle mage.
Okay, that sounds like the stupidest book series I've ever heard of.
the bicycle mage, and it's all predicated on this magic system that is so stupidly outlandish.
Yeah, you cast like a huge fire spell, you're gonna gain like 300
I
pounds
feel like
right
in
away.
a medieval setting, like Trent said, you're already like it's you. So you just never have to eat, is what you're telling me. It's like I don't need to worry about like losing weight or like being malnourished.
Can I still eat?
Yeah, of course you can still eat
I don't know why you would.
because you're hungry.
Okay, would you rather
Because
be?
that troll meat's right there.
I can't stop eating it. Would you rather be the best swordsman in the entire land, or just an average magic guy?
Magic guy.
Magic guy.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, sword.
Like I never play a magic user
Like
in
no
any
one
game I
could
play.
kill you with a sword ever. And you go
Yeah, but
to
a
battles and
but a
you just
magic guy could just kill you easily.
Yeah, I'd be a magic guy for sure.
Wait, hold on though. Hold
There's
on.
magic guys stronger. Than
Wait, but if you were the best, greatest swordsman that ever lived, Mad Mardigan, you would be extremely famous, and you would be rich and famous, and
That's what
everyone
I'm
would
saying. You're just
idolize
like
you.
or just some like random.
and
magician.
you wouldn't be fat from casting magic.
Yeah, some you're.
Oh, this is
you
the
are
same
very
world. I'm so
large
sorry.
magician.
Or are we not adding on to our fantasy world still?
You just look like Jabba the Hutt court mage.
Hey, Jabba, can you cast this quick spell?
Look, dude. If I can gain 2 pounds every spell and I never die, then yeah, I'd do it. I just take myself to like some disgusting weight.
Just make
where
sure
I'm, like,
every spell is
enormous,
really
like,
important.
Fill a room.
700-pound
Yeah,
mage.
yeah.
No, I would do the greatest swordsman. I would do the greatest swordsman because I think you'd be more famous and you wouldn't have to do much work.
I just don't want to be famous. I just want to be magic.
No, in the medieval setting, you do want to be famous, or else you're like some dumpy, just peon, just doing work for the king, right? If you're the greatest swordsman, like you've kind of got some pull.
Okay.
That's my take.
Okay.
I had a similar one. So would you rather? Okay, and we've already kind of covered this. It's funny that we kind of went back to this over and over. Would you rather be able to talk to animals, but only animals that you've eaten? So, like, you see a dog that you want to talk to, you got to eat a dog.
How do you talk to it?
And
no,
then
you
can
just
talk
have to have
it.
eaten
Oh.
a dog. and
You
then
have to
can
have
talk
eaten a
any
dog.
Can I talk to all dogs now?
Yes,
for-
after you've eaten a dog.
after I eat one.
Yeah. And or be the greatest swordsman, but only for a cumulative 24 hours per year. So the rest of the time, you're just a normal swords guy.
Oh, eating an animal. Because
Yeah.
right off the bat, I can talk to all chickens and cows.
Do you
And then
want to though?
If I find a dog that's been like hit by like a
I don't need to
horse
talk
or
to the
something-
dog,
No,
but I'll talk to everything else.
No, I just
Trent's like, I'll just eat the dog because I want to.
I just eat the dog because it's delicious.
You see like a dragon, and you're like, I want to talk to that dragon, but I gotta find some dragon meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. You
Yeah.
just got to eat the animal first.
Talk. I'd eat
But
the
what if
animal.
the animal is like, wait, you can understand me? You bastard. Who'd you eat? Who'd you eat?
Wait,
you
but can
tell
it
me
be-
right now.
Do I have to kill the animal that I eat, or can I just find like a dead dog on the side of the road and just
I
take
guess,
a bite?
yeah, I guess.
If it's already dead,
That's what I'm saying.
will it make me sick?
We'll say it has to be pretty freshly dead because the magic is gone once it's not. So yeah, if someone else kills it, you can just eat it. I
Is it?
guess.
It's permanent though.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
You don't
I just wait for my dog to die of old age, and then just clip a toe, throw it in the
have
stew,
to clip a toe.
and I'm good.
Does it have to be like actual meat, or can I eat like a toenail?
No, it's got to be meat.
Okay.
Just a toe. You
The
throw that
power's in the
stew.
meat. Obviously, the power's in the meat.
Okay.
I've
got.
You,
Oh, sorry. You
Go ahead.
oh, you have one? Go
I've
for
got
it.
one more. Would you rather the ability to transform into anything or teleport anywhere?
Transform into anything?
I could finally become a trash can. My destiny.
Washing machine.
What I already am.
Big piece of shit.
Transform into whatever you feel like you currently are.
Form of garbage.
Form of piece of crap. Huge piece of crap.
Form of personal disappointment.
Total douchebag. Oh, man.
I just made myself sad.
Oh man,
Form of depression. Nothing changed.
I'm still me.
What the fuck?
Oh, man. Am I ever going to get it?
I like teleporting anywhere. That is really, really slick.
Is it anywhere?
Anywhere.
But I could also teleport to a dragon and be anywhere in style.
You mean turn into a dragon?
Or I'm sorry, yeah, I could turn into. I do turn into stuff. I do turn.
But remember,
into
you're clumsy and you shit yourself a lot.
Oh,
If you're a
oh, we're
dragon.
in that world?
stuff. You might.
Oh, my
You
God.
might fly into a mountain in the same way a pigeon flies into a window.
I didn't know we were
Dude,
in
I
that
just
world.
want to see an animation of that at this point. I want to see a clumsy dragon that fucking flies straight into a mountain and dies while shitting itself. Like, come on, have we not
Just flying around the castle, that's kind of like that image you see, and then it just crashes through one of the towers.
Yeah, one of the
And
parapets
falls
just
down
goes
and
down.
just dies.
I would love
It's
to see
just
that
dead.
fantasy world where everything is normal, like there's goblins and magic and all this stuff, and then the dragons are just like this eye roll inconvenience that no one even talks about.
Oh, yeah.
No one in New York talks about the pigeons; they just avoid them and try not to step in dead pigeon shit. But like, imagine that with dragons.
Okay. So let's see. I don't remember what the question was. now.
Teleport anywhere or
Oh.
transform into anything?
Transform only into a dragon.
I'd probably do teleport.
Yeah.
Really?
No. Well, here's the thing, because now let's see. Teleport. Yeah, I do teleport. I'd teleport myself out of that kingdom real fast.
It sounds awful.
Is there anywhere else better around here?
Would you rather be? This is easy. Living in this fantasy world, Skyrim or Harry Potter?
Harry Potter.
Oh. No, Harry Potter, I feel like I'd be the most famous. Wait, am I a wizard or a muggle? Because I don't want to be a muggle in Harry Potter.
It's random.
Oh, shoot.
It's random. So you could be some
Skyrim.
random villager in Skyrim, or you could be some random ass muggle in Harry Potter.
Well,
Harry Potter.
I feel like I am a muggle in Harry
Because
Potter.
if I choose Harry Potter,
currently.
I'm either me, like as I am now,
Right.
or a wizard.
In Skyrim, you're probably dead, no matter what. you pick.
I'd be the smartest wizard too, because every wizard in there is an idiot because they don't even use technology.
They don't use guns.
They don't use guns. They don't use.
I have in no point seen any spell that can stop a bullet. They haven't even talked about it.
Even if you could, you wouldn't be able to do it fast enough. If you didn't
You
know the
just
gun was
ruined
there,
Harry Potter for me.
if you didn't
Yeah.
know the gun was there,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be fast enough with any spell to stop it. You just wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
What if guns don't work on
They like
us?
laugh at muggles through the book. They're like, haha, they tried to burn us at the stake and
Atomic
we survived. Haha. Yeah, exactly.
Hogwarts
It's
gets
like, guys, things have changed.
F-18
since Salem.
right over Hogwarts. Bam, bam, bomb. You're dead.
Yeah, but I can conjure a deer.
I can
So
a light deer.
Yeah, I can make
deer
a
made of
light deer.
lights.
I'm like, guys, we have been just hundreds of years of mechanized warfare, and wizards are still like flying around on motherfucking
On brooms like idiots. They have a broomstick up their butt crack.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that?
They're not even like, let's make these slightly more comfortable.
Let's put a seat on
Let's put a
this.
seat on it. They're like, no, just brooms.
Right on it. Right. Get it right in there. Yeah, just scooch right onto that.
But there is a
broom.
spot for your feet.
You think there's a better way to channel our magic? Nope. Stick.
No, broomstick, obviously.
No, like a stick, and we just shove something in the middle of it, just like a long stick.
Yeah.
Like from a tree? Yeah, like a tree.
Yeah.
That's our main way
Exactly.
of using magic.
Yep. Oh, what do we need that for when we can teleport anywhere we want to go? No, just it's fine. You can fly
Do
too.
not drop your stick. Don't drop your stick. You're going to need that later.
And don't let anyone else take your stick.
Can I summon
God.
someone's stick while they're on it? Because there is a summoning spell,
Yeah.
right? Everyone's
Sure.
an idiot
Yeah,
in
we
Harry
didn't really
Potter.
think about that.
Oh, see, but you're talking about brooms, and you're talking about wands.
Oh.
I've been talking about wands this whole time.
Oh, I was talking about brooms.
Yeah.
They're flying around on broomsticks.
I'm watching this whole
The
thing.
main
like,
way you channel your magic in Harry Potter is
it's through a broom.
a stick.
A stick with a core. I mean, it has to be specially made.
Yeah, you push something in the middle of a stick, and all of a sudden, and
All of a sudden
sometimes
you can
it's
use it.
non-magical things, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes
like
it's
a horsehair.
Yeah, like a fucking feather, and it's like cool. I have a stick, piece of wood.
And sometimes it's
with
just a
feather
stick.
inside.
With a feather in it. How did we get to Harry Potter, the ridiculousness? Well, this is Harry Potter. So I think that's all of my would you rathers. Any more?
I have one more.
Do it.
So you walk into an inn, and before you are two options: random potion and nothing.
A random potion.
How old am I?
Am I like 17?
Am I like gonna die soon? Either way,
Well, you're in a fantasy world, so you could
random
die from
potion.
Anything.
Yeah, random
Dysentery.
a random potion.
Yeah, why not? You know what I mean?
I'm a risk taker.
Hey, you know I love to gamble.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, give me that random potion. It could be a luck potion, right? It could be, well, what if it's a love potion? Ugh, and you fall in love with like the first thing you see?
Yeah.
That would suck.
It's probably just poison. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, who made this potion?
Almost certainly poison.
Who made it? Was it Harry Potter? Because he sucks
Probably
at
Harry
making
Potter.
potions. I'll die. Dice of destiny.
Okay, Dice of Destiny is the segment that I fucked up this week and didn't do.
So JD, listen, we'll give him a pass. JD picked his game. It's called Curse of the Dead Gods or something. Mm-hmm. Curse of the Dead Gods. And then he went out of town, and he was out of town for most of the week.
Ori came out.
And then Ori came out.
So Jenna and I have just been playing Ori.
And Jenna took all of his stuff.
I can't touch the PC because Ori's on the PC now, so I can't play that game. So
we're giving JD a pass. He's got one more week, JD, 1 week.
Okay.
You hear it? You hear what I'm saying?
I'm going to have to basically wait until like 1 a.m. when Jenna goes to bed, and then I can play on my PC.
Hey, Jenna, can I have a try at this? Get away! She hisses at you.
So I should have a review. Hopefully, should have my Dice of Destiny review for
Curse of the Dead Gods.
Curse of the Dead Gods next week, but maybe not. I don't know.
No,
It'll be done
Don't
sometime.
pressure me. Don't
Oh,
put pressure
I'm-
on me. I don't work well under pressure.
You're
I'm
gonna
shit
do it.
myself like a dragon wizard.
You get a dragon wizard. Well,
right.
what did we do?
What?
This fantasy world we created is a nightmare.
I love it, dude. Save us from ourselves.
Dear game devs,
Dear Game Devs,
This-
never listen
Make-
to this
please make
episode.
this world.
No, dude, I just want the dragon. I just want the dragon game. I just want the dragons that are clumsy dragons.
Maybe like a Flappy Bird game.
Flappy Bird. We can make this ourselves. Dude, it's just Flappy Bird with dragons. All right, guys, that's it for us this week. To play us out is this song I thought would get into it, but I guess they're
It's
still
coming.
gathering on the hilltop, just getting ready for battle.
This is the pump up speech.
Yeah.
Riders of Rohan!
Riders of Pennsylvania! The episode's over. Why are you still listening? It got stopped being funny like 10 minutes ago. So we're gonna end the episode on a really low note with this bad joke. That's it. I'm JD. I'm JD logging off.
This is Peterson going AFK.
And this is Trent signing out.
And this is Colin Goblin and I'm not a goblin!
Peterson Productions. Oh yeah.